you realize that the grown adults can't find passion and willfulness right now because they have too many options. We have what I call freedom fatigue. Freedom fatigue, right? Freedom fatigue is the fatigue that comes from having too many choices, right? So imagine it like this, and it's an interesting concept. All right, you're a billionaire. All of a sudden, you're a billionaire. All right, you don't have to do anything anymore, right? And let's start it back. You had a company that you had your whole life. You worked your whole life to get this goal and this idea out. Every single day of your life, you worked to bring this into fruition. And one day, you sold your company for $100 million. You sold your company for $100 million, and life becomes so easy, you don't know what to do anymore. Your sense of purpose kind of just disappeared because you have everything you ever wanted. You can buy whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. And now you kind of sitting at home in this big house with all this money, not knowing what to do next. And it's something that happens to people. Once you get the thing that you've been going for, you understand me? You start to get this freedom fatigue of like, and it comes in different waves, but one of them is like, yo, I have all these options to do anything. Now you don't know how to make a decision because everything was so easy at first, in the sense that you know exactly what you wanted to do, exactly what you needed to do every single day when you woke up, right? Because there's a limited amount of options. We working on this thing, we executing. Kids in the 90s, 80s, 70s, like, yo, I got to get a job. I have to figure out how to live the American dream. You understand me? Kids that grow up in the hood, they see even limited options. I'm going to be a criminal, a drug dealer, or I'm going to go to college route if I can, right? There was always a limited amount of options, and these limited amount of options don't require too much thinking, right? So it was easy for you to make decisions. But now, what do you be in the future, right? Should I make movies because I have access to VO3? You understand me? Should I become a writer because I have access to ChatGPT? You understand me? I don't have excuses in front of me. Any idea that I could think of from when I was a child till now is now possible. And I'm left with this inevitability of looking at myself in the mirror and asking, who am I and what do I actually want to do? And this is causing a fatigue, right? To where a person doesn't know what the hell they want to do anymore. And not because they have limited options, but because they have unlimited options. And this is causing people to reconnect with themselves, because you're not going to find it by learning about the next AI tool. You're not going to find it by, you understand me, finding more and more options. You're only going to find that by getting in tune with self and reminding yourself of who you are. And because so many people are disconnected from their true self, like their childhood self, the things that they wanted to do, the things that bring them real joy, because we've been so used to being programmed about this American dream or making money, and we don't know how to make meaning. And when you have a lot of options, you're trying to do the thing that means something to you. Because you can do anything, but what means something? What's something that I feel connected to? You understand me? So this is the fatigue that people currently face. I wrote an article about this on Substack, where it's like, imagine if you're a billionaire. And Substack is this space where I write long form articles about ideas and thoughts that come to me throughout the week and weekly. So you definitely should go find me on Substack. That's SUBSTACK, 19 keys. Subscribe on there. But it was like, AI will make you a billionaire, in the sense that what does a billionaire have once they get all the money in the world? It frees up your cognition, right? Your thinking, because you now don't have to think about the things that normally society tells you are important in order for you to be enrolled into society and be a mature human being. A mature human being has to think about what they say, how they say it. You have to think about managing finances, paying bills, right? You have to think about managing your own health. You have to think about managing, right, your legal stuff. Right? You have to think about managing your time, right? You have to think about your business. Like, you have all of these different compartmentalized things that they say, this is what makes a full adult. So you're socialized and conditioned to say that you're going to be a responsible adult if you compartmentalize your life in these areas and you spend a certain amount of your daily cognition on these particular things. Now, once you get a lot of money, you have people to do all those things for you. So every particular area you have to think about right now will be freed up because we're going to have AI agents. So AI agents are autonomous agentic AI that operates and do these things automated for you. You won't have to read emails. Your AI would do that. You won't have to book appointments. Your AI would do that. You won't even have to text people. You'll be texting somebody else AI for you, and they'll be setting up the meeting for you, right? You're not going to have to read through certain details and contracts and none of those different things that you have to do now. It will all be automated for you. And you're just going to have to manage the AI, and they're going to have to know your wants, needs, desires, etc. So therefore that they're operating for you and on your behalf, right? And so as this thing continues to grow, you essentially have the freedom of a billionaire now, and so your cognition will be freed up, and the things that society had to historically think about, they won't have to think about no more. So where will all of that free cognition go towards? Well, that's when you get freedom fatigue, and now that's when you start to think about, what is there to think about? Because you found value in your ability to process these things, right? People who look at their identities, oh, I have a job, oh, I have a degree. So many men and women have put their stock of value, their whole identity in their job. Well, when that job disappears and that degree is no longer valuable, then who are you? Oh, you're an accountant because you went and got this. Oh, you're a realtor because you got this. Well, what happens when those things are no longer as valuable? Then who are you? When you don't have to manage none of those things, the world would have to figure out what to do with their time and their mind. And that's where we go into the pursuit of passion, right? We go into the pursuit of not purpose. See, chasing purpose is what you actually lose yourself trying to find yourself. I know it's an oxymoron, but think about it. You lose yourself trying to find yourself because you start telling yourself, the moment that you try to find yourself, you're telling yourself you're lost. This is true, Mike Rashid. This is true. You lose yourself because you tell yourself you're lost. I need to find myself. Well, that means you're lost. Anything you need to find is lost, or it is away from you. So we're going to change from finding purpose, right, to finding awareness, to increasing your awareness of self. You don't need to find yourself. It is becoming aware of yourself. And so awareness will be more important, right? And in that awareness is where you can live at your highest consciousness. Because now I am aware of who I am. I am aware of what I should do with myself and my time. Because I know myself. You can have all the options in the world. If you're a warrior, you're going to do what warriors do. You can have all the options in the world, but if you're a singer, you're going to want to sing. You can have all the options in the world, but if you're an artist that paints, you're going to want to paint. Because you're aware of yourself. You are aware of the things that you're good at, your skills, your talent, right? And so you know how to add value, not just to the world, but in alignment with yourself. So we have quantified so many things based on human beings becoming machines. Well, now the machines will be doing, right, all of the work that machines should do. So we're not going to be operating on what's our capacity for maximum efficiency. That's machine language. A machine language is not awareness, so awareness goes into a different state. Alignment, machine language is not alignment. This is human language. Then we go into soul language, and people are going to be speaking and aligning their life with their soul, right? They're going to be aligning it with their spirit. They're going to be aligning it with their self. But instead, right now, we have to align with money. We have to align with survival. We become machines and figuring out how efficient we are at work. Work is a unit of measurement for energy. You know what I mean? You measure human energy in joules, right? But as machines, that's where we have been cattled to for human capital, going from horses to railroads to human beings first, right? And slavery. So we made ourselves our own slaves, but now we become our own masters. And this is going to be tough for people because managing your own time is dangerous. Yeah, it's an adjustment. Managing your own time is dangerous. Most people do not want to manage themselves. Most people want to be led. So that's why it's triggering to say, save yourself. So there's going to be a new age of leaders, and it's going to actually be the common man or woman. Yes, there's always going to be the super high level, right? But people are burnt out of trying to be super high level. People just want daily success. They just want daily rituals that feel good, because what happened is the society stopped trying to fix themselves. Maybe you've nothing broken with you. So people selling you this fix, right, is burning you out because you've tried that over and over. You tried the latest mental trend, the latest course, you tried the latest thing, and you're like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not broken. So therefore, maybe you just need to operate within daily success rituals. And I think people, that's all they want. People just want success rituals. Just what can I do every day to be successful? And the reason why is because the future feels uncertain. And if the future feels uncertain, if everything is changing every single day and we don't know what's going on and what's going to happen, why am I preparing for the future? How do I prepare for the future? So people are burnt out for trying to prepare for a future that they don't even know what it will be. After we get done with AI, then here comes quantum machines. Quantum machines mapping the whole human genome, then transhumanism, right? Then we going into multi-dimensions, then we going into space travel, then we having space wars. You know what I'm saying? So people are like, man, what's going on, man? Am I like preparing for the robots? Am I preparing for another dimension? Am I preparing for a new God to take over? So in that space, people are burnt out. So instead they say, how about I work on being the highest version of myself, so no matter what comes, I will be fine. And then that's when we go back into this inner awareness to say, damn, if I focus on me and self-development of my highest self, self-awareness, then it doesn't matter what the future becomes, because I'll be the best version of myself to deal with whatever. Think about it. Think about that. You'll be the highest version of yourself. So this now becomes the new goal. Now I'm ahead of thinking about these things because that's where my mind goes. But what's also going to happen is that there's going to be so many things that trying to steal your cognition. They're going to be building. The metaverse is not dead. It's not dead. They're going to build it out in such a way that when you feel like there's nothing to do, they're going to throw you into these 3D virtual reality machines that you're going to be living in 24/7, playing for digital money, living in there, finding purpose inside of a digital virtual reality. There's going to be a lot of people doing that. Now, there's a beautiful side to this, because I think that people who grew up in, and I was listening to, I went to an event by Bag Fuel, and it was with Van Jones was talking to this guy. He is a senior vice president of Google, black dude, senior vice president of Google. And the conversation ended up getting good towards the end. I think at first they were just talking about stuff we already know, so it was kind of a waste of time. But it started to get good towards the end. We started kind of going into the philosophy of the world, right, and what will be. And one thing that I think Van said that I thought was good, and something we all know, but I like the way that he set it up. And the setup was about, shout out to my brother Billy Carson in the building. The setup was this: the skill in the future would not be learning, because learning would it won't be as impressive, right? Because we have so much information. So learning becomes this instantaneous thing that doesn't require self-development. So there was a time if a man knew something, you understood that he had a mind that would mine information, and had to read and had to research and had to sit and be in discipline, because he had to sit in silence, burning the midnight oil, right? Obsessing and going into and going deep into his studies, deep into his training. So if a man knew something, then that means he was a different type of individual. Well, today you can memorize a script, and it doesn't mean you're actually intelligent. It doesn't mean you actually know anything. And so we're going into like the scripted world of communicators and speakers. And you can kind of notice them. They sound kind of fantastical. They use this scripted language that works really good on TikTok philosophy, right? And so it feels like you talking to like the smartest person ever, right? But it's nothing. It's just scripted knowledge. They can't really go on a free flow, right? Because their mind doesn't really have a depth of knowledge and understanding. Just picking up scripts and flowing with that. So learning won't be as impressive because we're going to have learning in our eyes. You don't know something, you'll have something that can tell you right there in your ear. You don't know something, you have something that can look it up right there in your eyes. So you won't be impressive with what people know at all. So learning decreases in value. And what increases is actually your ability to unlearn. And I like the point that he was making on that. So unlearning will actually be the key. Having neural flexibility, right? So your neural flexibility and the neuroplasticity to consistently unlearn things, right, will be the key. That will be the key. And so that's hard for a lot of people. They don't know how to unlearn what they know because they think they know something.